The following preview has been rated good by the Good, the Bad, and the Weird podcast. Please check out the full episode when it comes out on Sunday. Many podcasts have wasted their time covering this movie. Most have never returned. Join us this Sunday as the Good, the Bad, and the Weird perils this dangerous journey through the plagues of Egypt, many viewers' sexual awakening to the distant past of 1920s as viewed from the swashbuckling adventure of death, love, and sand in 1999's The Mummy. Which, I'm Nicho.
I'm Chris.
And that is, now that I say that, I forgot that we were planning to talk about that at the end of the episode. The sexual awakening of The Mummy.
Yeah, how most people who watched this when it came out were like, oh, pretty much everyone in this is hot.
Yes.
Just about the entire cast is hot.
We brought that part up, but not like everyone's love for the entire cast.
Like a surprising amount, with the exception of Benny. Fuck Benny.
Excuse me, you're the one who told me that Benny is like the deciding factor of like some people are like, yeah, even Benny's not terrible looking.
But that, okay, yeah, unfortunately, I've had multiple people tell me that, like, you know what? No, even Benny's like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, which honestly, of like having learned that, I brought that up to Boo from Ghoulie Girls when I was talking with him the other day, and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, that's fully a thing." It's like,
yeah, welcome to realizing who you are about yourself. How many of The Mummy are you interested in?
I will tell you, I was very focused on someone painted gold.
Very pretty.
Yes.
Very shiny.
Yes.
Well, not only has she got boobs, but they're shiny boobs.
They are very shiny. But also, I mean, Rachel Weisz, back in the day, I guess my mom looked a little bit like her.
Okay.
And my cousin, that was his thing that he'd say to everyone, "Oh, my aunt looks like the woman from The Mummy."
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, very good compliment. My mom was very proud of that too. So
adorable.
Yeah, but yes, the Mummy is like one of those movies where it
shaped our generation to an extent too. Like the amount of people who love this movie.
Well, in film culture in general, because honestly, comparatively to any of the other Universal movies, it rebooted it more than anything.
Which is hilarious because, like, as far as Universal goes, if Universal has something that they think is good, they put it in their parks. And if they think it's real good, they make a whole section for it, right?
Yeah.
As far as I know, The Mummy has only had one ride to, like, honor it. And that ride closed, I think, last year.
Interesting.
And it was it was an indoor roller coaster. But it was a beloved roller coaster. Like, people loved the roller coaster. But it's so weird because normally, like, when Universal is like, oh, I found gold, they're like, look at it. Look at the delight.
Yeah.
Like, they had a whole section for Jaws.
Let's spend 30 years making shit on this movie and then drive it into the goddamn ground.
That's usually what Universal does. And they
did with this one, too.
But not to the same extent. They made movies. I'll give you that. They made movies that drove this sucker to the ground. But they didn't pump out the merch like they normally do. Like, the amount of Jaws merchandise, untold. The amount of Spider-Man shit, unreal.
Yeah.
The amount of Harry Potter crap.
Yeah, and I was going to say that. I mean, you got to think of Jaws as being like, that was the first time they did anything with that. But then again, like, Star Wars did it. Yeah. We still have it now. There's the reason the porgs are a thing.
Yeah, like, that's Universal's, like, biggest thing that they're, like, that they do. And, like, people like it. Like, if people didn't like it, there wouldn't be collectors that have whole rooms full of the crap. People like stuff. That's fun. The Mummy never really had stuff. But people still love The Mummy.
Yeah, I want to say I vaguely remember, like, a Burger King toy, but, like, minimally.
Yeah, like, it existed solely in movie form for a long time, which was cool.
Yeah. I think still does, because, I mean, most of the stuff we see are prop replicas that other people are making, but Universal isn't.
Yeah, and, like, I recently was at Universal. I went on the Mummy ride. It was on my bucket list to ride. And yeah, there's a gift shop at the end, but honestly, most of it's not really all that Mummy themed. Like, there's a couple shirts with Brendan Fraser's face on it. There's like some notebooks and like there's your general merch, right?
Yeah.
But there's not like the overwhelming amount of stuff, and honestly, not a ton of people are buying it. Nobody's really like wearing it. Not that they wouldn't. Like, I'd wear a shirt with the Mummy on it. But, like, no, it's not really a thing. But
Yeah.
even with that said, like, the amount of just absolute love for this movie.
Yeah, because, I mean, we bring it up real quick in part of our episode that, like, when I brought up that I was watching the old Mummy movies, everyone thought I was talking about these movies when I was really talking about the 30s, 40s, and 50s ones.
Yeah, which, you know, this one's a reversion of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also not. It's its own thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the biggest staying point of this one is that it was such a strong movie for what it was based off of that it's completely replaced the entire original set of films.
Yeah,
which we haven't seen that in any of the other ones. I mean, the original Invisible Man is still the Invisible Man.
Yep.
Dracula is still a Bela Lugosi.
Yeah.
Frankenstein's still Boris Karloff.
Yeah.
Like, those are the ones we think of when it comes to classic Universal monsters.
And, like, even though people know that the Mummy is in there, honestly, I don't think people could pick out the Mummy from a bunch of stock images of a mummy.
No. And especially once Hammer Horror started getting into making all their shit, too. And
yeah, but, like, the Mummy? Yeah, everyone knows exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that's one of the fascinating things about this movie in general is just, like...
And it's such an iconic looking movie. Like, it really took that nostalgia, fake, you know, movie nostalgia for the 30s Egyptology and ran wild with it.
Yeah, and in a good way. Not, like, over the top. It didn't try and be a political statement. And that's the one thing I'm kind of finding with all these other ones is that when everyone's trying to reboot movies, they're trying to redo it like this Marvel Universe, where they're taking everything too seriously instead of just trying to make a fun and entertaining movie.
And that's all this movie is. It's fun and entertaining. And that's why it works.
And that's why it's a good standalone movie that served as a good base for one good sequel.
And then a third that was okay.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the rest of it, which I enjoyed.
Yeah. It followed the Marvel arc of Iron Man was good. Iron Man 2 was pretty good. Iron Man 3 was kind of shit.
It was watchable, at least.
Yeah. And then
after that, you know, we just kind of stopped going.
Lost the plot a bit.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah. I don't know. I had a really good time talking about this movie. It was...
me too. This one's so much fun.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ones in our zeitgeist that I don't think is going to go away. The Tom Cruise one definitely didn't replace it.
No, not even close.
Yeah. Because even when you say The Mummy... Everyone still thinks about the Brendan Fraser one.
Yeah, of course they do. It was such a classic.
Yeah. Yeah. But, anyway, this has been the Good, the Bad, and the Weird previews.
Check out the full episode.
Peace!